If God Almighty allowed me to pick the person that I would want to be the next mayor of New York City, I 100% would pick my friend of 32 plus years, Curtis Rock Sliwa. That was his nickname then. If you were in it, you knew what to call him. I'm freezing here. Don't ask me why. A lot of weird activities here, a lot of stuff in the background. If I had my way, I would pick 100% Curtis Sliwa. If somebody could say, now I get to pick who's the mayor? Oh, absolutely. Without a doubt. 100%. Good guy, great American. I know him. Everybody wants to have a mayor that they know. Let's face it, we're all human, right? Isn't it good to have a mayor you know? Yeah. So for a bunch of reasons, I can think of why I would want him. Okay? It's the way it goes. But he is not in any way, sad to say, going to win. He is not. He is not going to win. It's not. He's not. I wish he was. I wish more than you do. But he's not going to win. And I don't know how to tell people this a fact. I have been for 16, 17 years plant-based, okay? I am the world's #1 carnivore. Nobody loves meat more than I do. Nobody. So for me to be plant-based, it means I really must believe in this stuff for me to give up something that I love so much. If I didn't think it was really, really a good idea and that it was detrimental. And I've got the blood work to show you, okay? Now, this is not, please don't, people will come in and say, I like bacon. Okay, fine. Doesn't matter. It's a free country. What I'm saying is there are some things that reality shows you and you have to accept it. I have never been an apologist for President Trump. Sometimes he does things that are stupid. His foreign policy is retarded, but he's the best president now. And when I tell you I like him, you will believe me because you know me and you've known me for a long time. I don't lie to you. Remember, in 2020, I told you about him. I said, get ready. He ain't doing it. Now, little did we know there might have been some other hiccups or roadblocks in the meantime, but I told you this. I told you. And people got upset. I said, he's underselling. He's not doing it. I'm always going to tell you the truth. I'll tell you what I want and what I think is going to happen. Let me say that again. What I want may not be what's going to happen. What I'd like to be true, I don't think is going to happen. I don't think about one way because I have some religion to maintain or some kind of I wish we could get high on drugs without taking the drugs. Think about that. Wouldn't it be great if we could just push a button, directly stimulate the part of the brain that mimics being high on something, and then when we're done, we click it off and we're not high anymore. We can drive, do whatever we want. It's not in your system, it's in your brain. I think that would be fantastic. And if ever you're feeling depressed, push a button and you're feeling happy. No drugs, just going to the brain itself. Fantastic. I can't do that though, but I wish I could. And I don't think drugs can allow that. So even though I like the idea of feeling better, not that way. So when I tell you this, get ready. I've said things to people And they get so upset because to many people, politics, it's a, I don't know what it is. It's a personality thing. I like him. I told you before, I am very, very concerned over the mental state, the wherewithal, and the future of Candace Owens. I've told you this, not to be mean, but to tell you I'm concerned. And people went crazy. You don't understand. I love her. I didn't say you didn't. I've told you repeatedly, that I think the number one, the best voice right now in the world of what we do is Alex Jones. Bar none. Hands down. The best. The best. And there have been times when I've said, oh man, he's acting nuts. And I've told people that we know, people that we have music, I said, is he all right? This ain't right. That dog don't hunt. Doesn't mean I don't like him anymore. Absolutely. There have been stuff that Trump has done that is just out of, what are you doing? It doesn't mean I don't like him anymore. Do you ever have sometimes when you mother and father will be arguing and the kid will get upset? He goes, no, mommy and daddy love you, love each other, love you. We're just because the kid doesn't know. It doesn't work like that. We have to assign ourselves to realism. You can't sign on to stuff. I live in New York City. Mrs. L and I were yesterday at the poll. We thought it was at another place, but they have, for early voting, they move it close, which is actually closer. We said, hey, look at this. Yeah, let's go. We walk in and I said, hey, I said, do you want a license? No. Give me the first 3 letters of your last name, first 3 letters of your first name. That's it. Give me your address. Is this it? Yeah, sign it. That's it. Now, I can just go in there and tell somebody, if you want, I'll sell you my vote. Not that you want to do it. $25. Put these 3 letters and these 3 letters, and this is the address, and that's it, and sign it. Nobody's going to check it. I thought that was very strange. But anyway, there it was. And it was packed. Packed. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? For whom does a big turnout benefit early voting? It's up to you. You tell me. Oh, Curtis. Definitely Mamdani. Curtis. Mamdani. Whatever you want. It's like this is a normally national campaigns, every 4 years. Those are the big turnouts. Everybody's talking about this. And the best part about it is that this guy, who is a killer, he is going to destroy my city. He is going to destroy it. And before I continue, I want you to think about something very, very quickly. I want you to think about this very, very quickly. When it comes to destruction, I can always tell how bad things seem when the uptick and the numbers of preparedwithlionel.com emergency food sales go through the roof. It's like watching gold. Whenever gold numbers go up, they're getting scared. And people are getting scared, and for good reason. Preparedwithlionel.com is, simply put, the best hedge against you not being able to go to the store, not being able to shop, not being able to get your stuff because of, pick your catastrophe. UFOs, weather, I don't know what. You understand this? I don't know what. You want to take a chance? Go ahead. Can you go a month? You can't even go a week, but can you go a month? If you couldn't go to the store because there's just some shutdown or somebody wants to do some beta test, huh? Yeah, no, I don't think so. Preparewithlionel.com. Go now. You get a secure a free 4-week emergency food kit or kick as I call them, preparedwithlionel.com. That's okay. Somebody knows something. Now let me explain something to you. What do you think? Who would you vote for? If you vote for Curtis, it might be because I just like him and I want to make a symbolic statement. Okay. If you vote for Mamdani, I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't want to know you. Get out. Don't forget, Robert, 4 things you need. I'll give you 4. Energy, water, food, ammo. Don't forget that. Bitcoin, eat your Bitcoin. Good luck. Diamonds, gold, eat your diamonds. That's all I'm going to say. Mamdani, do we all admit? Do we all agree? Is there anybody who likes Mamdani? Anybody? Anybody here? It's okay. Anybody here? Do you think this? Do you think that? Do you follow this? Do you follow what's happening here? I don't think so. I don't think so. This is the stuff which is the most incredible. Just let me tell you something. Let me just fill you. This guy is so scary. I can't even tell you what level. I don't know where he's from. I don't know what he wants. I don't know where the hell this 34-year-old zero Mamdani came from. He's a cutout. He is part of some shadow government, Islamist, whatever, which leads me to this. There's a lot of people out there who are saying, I think it's terrific. Crystal Ball from Breaking Points or Boiling Points or whatever, she and Saga. Crystal Ball. Katie Halper. Abby Martin. I think Aaron Monty, I don't know. Max Blumenthal, maybe. Go down the list. They love him. They want him for my city. They don't live there. You know why? Why do you think? Tell me. Why do you think? Tell me. Go ahead. Say it. Say it. Do you know why? Because he said he would arrest Bibi Netanyahu. He has no jurisdiction to do that. But because he said that, and because he said during the first debate, which I think was smart, I would have said the same thing. They said, what foreign country would you go to? And everybody says, Israel, Israel. I said, no, I'm staying here. I'm not going to France. I'm staying right here. But they loved it because they have such a hard-on for Bibi Netanyahu. Now, what happens is, follow me on this, and I know people aren't going to get it. I know they're not going to understand it, but I'm going to say it anyway because I'm always going to tell you the truth. Take what you believe regarding Israel and Palestine. Go ahead, think it. You're absolutely right if you are disgusted, as is most people, by the horror that's happening to these poor people in Palestine, in Gaza. Okay? Can we all agree to that? Can we? Horrible. Houthis and Hutus and Rwandan genocide, Armenian genocide. Call it what you want. Call it ethnic cleansing. Call it apartheid. Whatever you want. I got it. I got it. I'm not scratching my head saying, what are you talking about? What death? What? No, I'm with you. Okay. So put that here. You got that? Here. This is a box. We're going to put that in the box. And the box is on the table. We agree to that box, don't we? Yes. Yes. Bad. Stop this. Stop what's doing. 2-state, 1-state, whatever the hell you want to call it. Stop this nonsense. Stop the killing. Stop this horror. Whatever you want. You want to call it Zionism, anti-Zionism, Christian Zionism, eschatological lunacy, whatever whatever makes you happy, you say whatever you want. Put it in that box right there, okay? Good. What the hell does that have to do with a New York City mayor? What does your disgust over what's happening in Gaza have to do with my city and what's going on here? Tell me. Well, no, tell me. I want to hear it. How would you like a Zohran Mamdani in your city? Because you're this new guy. Let's just call him your own zero, Zohran the moron. And by the way, nobody they call him Mamdani. They don't even say his name. Maybe that's on purpose. I don't know. Anyway, would you want one in your town? Would you? Who wants one? You can take ours. Take him. Take him. And when I want this to be, and when it happens, and by the way, when he's there, I'm going to say, oh no, you want to why? Because he wants to arrest Bibi Netanyahu. He has no jurisdiction. ICC, ICJ, we're not signatories. He can't do that. He's not going to do that. No commissioner's going to say, yeah, go ahead and do it. There is no, let me tell you something. Can you imagine asking a New York City cop, go up to him. And by the way, have you ever seen the security forces guys with? You ever see this? I remember one time, this is so interesting. I was doing MSNBC or DNC as I call it. And I was at a place called Studio One or something. In the old days, this is how long ago. I think it was on with like Tucker when he was on. Anyway, it's a long time ago. And I was just on, and who was in the next room? Bear with me, this is a side story now. Ehud Barak, whose name is figuring prominently in this Virginia Giuffre book. Okay, Ehud Barak was there. I didn't know this. He was in another room being interviewed at this place called, I think, Studio One or something. We had different studio suites you go in. And anyway, this is before Zoom and before the internet. Okay. So I had read about his exploits in Operation, what was it? Gideon Sword or something. It was going after 1972, going after the people who were responsible for the Olympics, Fatah and all that. Anyway, so backwards. So I walked out of my room, my studio, and I look, and who is it but Ehud Barak? And he was all made up. He looked orange, really weird. And he says, yay! And he put his arms out like, hey! I never met this guy in my life. I said, hey, and I went for him. I said, well, you are an attractive. I said something. I tried to make some joke about how he dressed up as a woman, kind of a babushka in this one scene where he had satchel bombs and Lebanon. Anyway, as I was about to he wants to embrace me or something. I never met this guy in my life. Turns out he saw me while he was waiting to go on his hit. He was watching me do my hit. That's how he knew me. Okay. So anyway, so he's like, hey, nice guy. As I looked over, he was with a guy, a security person who was leaning over the desk for something. And there was, and I saw this, an Uzi or a machine pistol. I don't know if it was an Uzi. Might not have been that brand. But on the side, I've never seen this before. And his jacket didn't really look, it just didn't look bulky. But there it was, in a sling there. I thought, wow. First of all, that's very dangerous to be having a machine, basically an automatic weapon. Which goes back to what I'm saying. Would you allow a police officer, a New York City police officer, to go up and to pull a gun and say, Benjamin Netanyahu, you're under arrest? And you've got security, and they don't know if you're Hamas or Al-Aqsa Brigade or ISIS, or they don't know. They know how people sometimes are dressed up as police officers. Remember Lucien Sarti? Remember Badge Man? Remember him? Remember the grassy knoll? Remember him? He was dressed up like a police officer. So they say. Okay. So Mamdani wants our police officers to arrest him? No. He's out of his mind. He's full of shit. What are you talking about? But there are other people like this. Yay! The crystal balls. Yay! Oh, I like Mamdani. Well, good. Let me send him to you in Virginia, wherever you live. Here, you take him. I don't want him. But they're stuck. They have a hard-on for Bibi. Their whole world is Gaza. And I'm not saying it's not important, but that box number 1, I just gave you a box number 2. And the box number 2 is, what does a mayor's position on foreign policy have to do? And you would submit your police officer to arresting people? Have you seen, some of the New York City cops are great, but are you kidding me? What are you talking about? But they love it because they hate Bibi Netanyahu. I'm not saying it's anti-Semitism. I don't know what it is. They have one issue. One issue. That's the second box. Here's the third box. You ready for this? You're not going to like this. You're not going to like what I'm about to tell you. You hear what I'm saying? You're going to hate. One guy said, "Oh, are you getting your $7,000?" Because I guess, remember, there was some story about influencers, Israeli influencers were getting whatever it was, I guess. I get mail. I got this series of mail. They say I'm anti-Semitic. I don't even know why. I never understood. I think because I mentioned Mearsheimer or something, who I like, but I don't even know. So I get that. I'm a shill. Listen, if you've been doing this long enough, trust me, they will come after you like you can't believe. They'll tell you everything. I'm a shill for this. I'm a shill for that. When I tell people I'm plant-based, they go, "Oh, you're for the world WEF. You're Klaus Schwab. You want us to eat bugs." I go, "What are you talking about? I'm not going to eat lab meat. I'm not saying that. I'm saying eat plants. What are you talking?" Anyway, I get that. I get this. So when you're doing this, see, that's why our friend Candace Owens doesn't understand what she's doing. She's not used to this. And let me say one more thing about her before I move on. If you think the lawsuit is about Brigitte Macron being a man or a woman, you didn't read the complaint. You know, this dude, Milo, he's trying to make his way back. Bless his heart. I don't know what his story is. I don't know. But he says, everybody take a deep breath and apologize to Candace Owens because somebody said that she might have either checked or ticked off a tax form as a man named the brothers. I'm thinking, dude, as the kids say, read the complaint. That's a part of it. No, Candace is, I don't know if she's fishing or something. I hope she gets help. I'm serious. I'm seeing her like just losing her mind. And a lot of folks are saying this. Juanita Broderick, great person. Cat Turd, great American. They're saying, whoa, whoa, whoa. And by the way, this is not because I'm pro anybody. My question is simply this. What the hell does Bibi, Gaza, or anybody have to do with my city? Nothing. Nothing. In 2005, I would go on the air and I talk about how women were savagely attacked with bayonets and sticks in the DRC, in the Congo, during this horrible period. Nobody batted an eye. So I understand there are positions that I have that may not have anything to do with my city, may not be, like Ukraine. I have strong positions on that. Okay, fine. But these people are such children. And if you ever want to watch this crystal ball, do me a favor. You want to have a drinking game? Every time she says like, And I was so like you'll be in the emergency room every time you take a shot. When she says like, and I like, so like, I was like. She talks like a child, but she's into this. It's like the babes of Palestine or something. They're all, and they meet, and God, it's a free country. And I'm not saying they're wrong, but they have one focus. It's Gaza or Palestine. That's it. Okay. I'm not saying you're wrong, but don't support Mamdani because you got your sporting wood over the notion of Bibi getting arrested, which Mamdani would have no jurisdiction over. He's playing to you. Now, next box. Let me ask you a question. Wherever you live, who do you think would have the greatest threat against the safety and the welfare of your city? Tel Aviv, Bibi, or Islamist? Islamism, not Islam, not Muslims, Islamism. You ever hear a 3 a.m. call to prayer by some Hasidic or Talmudic or some Lubavitcher group? No. Oh, don't get me wrong. Here in the Jewish stronghold is a very strong community, no doubt about that. But they don't bother you. We're over here, you're over there. I'm doing that Drake meme. I'm doing Dearborn, Michigan, whatever it is, 3 o'clock in the morning. Jews, Israel, these guys. I don't know where they are from per se. My friend, who is the most liberal person, he lives in Minnesota, Minneapolis. And you mentioned Ilhan Omar, she goes berserk. How about Rashida Tlaib in Detroit? Oh my God, this is different. They don't want to assimilate. They want to replace. So let me ask you a question. Anybody tell me who poses the most immediate threat? Who? I have noticed, have you as well? I have seen more public prayer. And by the way, not just on corners, but like in the street. Well, not in the middle of the street, but I've seen more veils, and you can go through it. You can go everything, because a veil could be everything from Iranian to Persian, it was redundant, to Iraqi, to Saudi Arabia, whatever it is. It's a hijab. There's about 9,000 words. It's not a burqa. Never use the word burqa. Burqa is in Afghanistan. That's that horrible coarse. You can't see any different story. I have seen it more than I've ever seen. And I've seen the other day at Costco, what's this? And I'm listening to people, they're Americans. A lot of them are, well, not Americans, but I don't hear accents. I see a lot of black folks or whatever. This is a free country. So what I'm saying is, concomitant to my statement, there is a tremendous either influx or awareness of people who pose not a threat to me per se, but are a source of great concern. If you're not concerned by or fear or worry about or think about Islamism, you're not paying attention. You're simply not paying attention. And there are some folks, not all, but enough, who they don't want to come in and just move into your town. They want to own your town. They want Islamic police. They want Islamist city councils, mayors, everything. And they say it. Ever have any Jews do that? No. Ever have any Israelis come in? No. Now, remember, go back to the first box. What they're doing over there is wrong. Okay, I'll give you that. But that has nothing to do with me here. That has nothing to do with it. It's wrong. Basque separatists, what's going on? How about the Lebanese? You want to throw them in there? What about the Houthis? Anybody remember them? About the gate? So what I'm saying is, I'm talking to a bunch of people who love Zohran because, first of all, He stands up to Bibi Netanyahu. That's how up this is. Now, I'm not going to call it anti-Semitism. I do not believe it could be. It could be, but I don't think that's in and of itself evidence of such. But what I'm saying is keep your thoughts regarding the horrors of Gaza. I'm with you on that one, 100%. It's brutal. I don't know how they're going to rebuild stuff. What are you talking about? This is like Gettysburg. This is their home. Oh my God, this is like not consecrated land. But you know what? You go over there, you argue this point. I'm talking about the New York mayor's race. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the addition to the White House. That's another issue. People have such a, pardon my French, a hard on for this story. They're just, I can't believe it. He can't do that. What do you think he's doing? You don't care about it. Well, he's tearing up. No. What about the rest? I don't know about the rest, but he can't do that. This is what bothers them. This is what bothers them. This. It's insanity. Okay. So the next issue is, and I ask you again, this is my city, and you have three people. Curtis, I told you when I started, if there is a God and God says, oh, by the way, I put in my thing so far, if you want to vote for me, no, don't vote for me. Vote for Cuomo. And I can't believe I'm even saying this, but I'm going to tell you why. Like I told you, in case you just tuned in, if I had my way, if there's a God, if God said, what do you think? I'll guarantee he wins this. Oh, Curtis, hands down. Everybody, people. Absolutely. But God's not intervening. We're talking about polls now. Polls and numbers. And the word poll has been given this dismissive sound. It's a poll. It's just a poll. No, it's a poll reflecting numbers. Hey, I think you should lose weight. It's just a number. It says 250 pounds. That's not just, what do you mean? That's a number, but that's representative of certain thing. No, it doesn't work. What about 2016? They said that Hillary was going to win, not the internals. She knew that. That's why she canceled the Javits Center. That's why she canceled the Grucci's, the fireworks. She knew big time. But they did everything in their power to tell you this. The people that own this shadow government type of media, they did that. Absolutely. Absolutely. So let me go back and tell you. Now we've got Andrew Cuomo, the worst. He's the worst. Nobody likes him. Nobody. Let me see if I can explain this to you. Let me see if I can put this. Let me see if I can maybe make you aware of this. This is a critical thing. This is so incredible. And let me put this into perspective now in a way that I hope you understand and you grasp. Nobody likes Andrew Cuomo. Nobody. Nobody likes him. Nobody claps for him. It's like hold your nose and this. It's like the worst Hobson's choice, or I don't know what the word is. He is the worst, okay? He is the worst. And if you had told me years ago that I'd be saying, you're not going to believe this one. You're not going to believe that. We talk to, we always have friends of ours, maybe you do, representative friends, people that are, and I've got a friend of mine who is one of the most lefty, who says, oh, because she lives here and lives in part of the city where it's pretty tough. And let me tell you something. When it comes to crime, everybody gets crime. They say, oh, I'm voting for Cuomo. And what they're doing is they're saying, I'm voting for Cuomo because Curtis won't win. What they're saying is, I like Curtis. I like what Curtis would say. I like the idea of a Curtis Sliwa. I wish he was good, but he's not going to win. So they hold their nose and they're voting for him. But nobody likes Cuomo. Nobody. He's the weirdest guy. He's unlikable. And we just had this other retard, Eric Adams, who I used to say, please don't speak. Please. This mushmouth, he is an idiot. Embarrassing. So he stepped down. He jumped out of the race because he thought he was going to get some big deal with Saudi Arabia. All he's in it for is a buck. He's a crook. This stupid idiot. He lives in Fort Lee. Everybody knew he lives in New Jersey. Remember where Rosanna Dana? Mr. Richard Fader from Fort Lee, New Jersey. Remember that? Writes. Anyway. He's such a liar. He's a crook. Anyway, he's out. Because he thought, hey, we're going to get you a deal. Well, they told him, well, contingent upon you getting Curtis to step down. Now, Curtis said, forget this. So Eric Adams says, well, I got a job. What was it? Well, no, really, seriously, what was it, dude? What kind of job did you get? Come on, tell us. What kind of job did you get? And we don't seem to know. For reasons I don't understand, we don't seem to know what job he got or where I get the basis of it. I don't know. I can't figure this out. I can't figure it out. But anyway, he is absolutely no good. And nobody likes him. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nobody likes Eric Adams. And if you remember, Eric Adams, the black mayor, if you say something about it, you're a racist. Okay, I'm a racist. Whatever you want to call it. He sucked. Then he, the other night, was sitting courtside at a Knicks game, and they're supposedly laughing. Two of the most despicable people. And I'm thinking, don't even put them together. I guess they're showing kind of continuity, or maybe they're trying to show the image of, hey, look, people are holding their nose. Hey, look how great this is. Hey, whatever. Well, let me tell you something that may kind of make sense to you, but to a lot of people, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And that's the bottom line. So it comes down to this. What are we going to do? Curtis Sliwa is upset. Let me explain this to you. Curtis Sliwa is a guy who has been around forever. The guardian angels. Curtis Sliwa was a guy who, when he was in, I don't know, I guess out of high school or 20s, he became a manager, an overnight manager of the worst McDonald's. I mean, he really came from a hard scrabble. I think he's from Canarsie, Brooklyn, but it was a McDonald's that was so horrible, so terrible, and so god awful that he couldn't believe. I mean, it was like OK Corral. It was just the worst thing anybody's ever seen. And then the subway were off, and it was terrible during the Deacons, and there was the drop dead. Remember A-Beam drop dead? It was horrible. The Bronx are burning. Just nothing that we're going through now, nothing can compare to how horrible it was. And by the way, believe it or not, right now, crime is pretty non-existent. I'm sorry to tell you, but the tourists are burgeoning. Okay. Anyway. So he came along with this thing called the guardian angels. And the guardian angels were really kind of interesting. The guardian angels. Wow. He and his wife, I believe his second wife, Lisa Evers, she's now on Channel 5, very, very popular reporter. She's a street beat. She was hot 97, but she was They called her a model. They got Ford model. She's a black belt in karate. Anyway, it was this really interesting group, this marriage, this dynamic duo of, whatever it was. And that's great. And that's wonderful. And that's terrific. So anyway, so that happened. Later on, there were allegations that Curtis may have fibbed about certain things. Maybe he claimed a certain kidnapping, maybe this. Go through it. I'm not an historian, but there were some suggestions. Now they're coming up with stuff about, there's problems with a financial shenanigan. Maybe he was sloppy, but the point is they're doing everything in their power to come out and to just really trash Curtis because Curtis won't leave. Okay. So anyway, Curtis has been wearing the red beret forever. The average age of the guardian angels, deceased. This is, I always called him a generalissimo of an imaginary group of urban commandos. He's this guy who had this wonderful group of folks. To make a long story short, he put this kind of aside, and he I think he ran against Eric Adams in 2016, 2017, whatever it was. Or 20, it doesn't matter. And he lost by 40 points. This is Curtis. 40. Why? Because New York City is 100% or virtually 100% Democratic. And that is a reality. So anyway, so he comes out now and things are different. So Andrew Cuomo is a Democrat. He's a lifelong Democrat. He's a lefty, but he's not crazy. He's Mamdani, but you won't get the defund the police. You won't get the, he wants to make sex work legal, which, by the way, just for the record, I stand on legalizing sex work for the sex worker, for the prostitute. Think of a better word. That's what I would like. That's what it's called, the equality model. Get these women, usually women, I guess there's some men, but get these women out of the business, get them, clear up their records. Many of them are doing it for reasons of compulsion, drug addiction, maybe force. Treat it like slavery. The idea of this pretty woman kind of doesn't work like that. So a lot of folks believe in the notion, it's called the equality model. So I'm kind of with, okay, survivor model. Mrs. L is right. Okay, fine. But the thing is, he wants to remember this. If you legalize it for the pimp, that's a different story. If you legalize it for the pimp too, then in your neighborhood, there's going to be this house down the street. It's going to be a brothel. The police show up and they say, "Who are you?" "Oh, I'm the love broker." Remember, that was a After Hours or whatever that movie was with Henry Winkler. And he said, "Well, are you a pimp?" "Oh, no. No, this is legal for me." There's no such thing as a pimp. Why? Because you legalized it. You legalized it. You legalized the pimp. Got it? See what you did? You legalized it. There's no such thing as a pimp. So anyway, that's where he is, because they're telling this idiot what to do, and they're telling him how to behave and how to think and how to all that stuff. To make a long story short, Cuomo could attract Democrats. He could split, if not take, from the vote that is Zohran Mamdani, because on paper, he has always been a Democrat. This is a Democratic city. But he's a Democrat you can understand. He's a Democrat you might be able to deal with. He's a Democrat that might make some sense, if that makes any sense to you, okay? So that's where we are now. So Curtis is thinking, oh, no, you don't. He's figuring, he's what, 71, 72? He may figure, this is it. This is it. It's over for me. I don't know what. Plus, and by the way, he has a very nice wife, and her name is Nancy. And she is really got him into this animal rights. They even have this thing called the Animal Rights Party. Now, between you and me, I don't want anybody to hurt animals. I don't even eat animals. I'm with you. Okay, I've said that before. But this is crazy. I don't lose sleep at night wondering about how they're feral cats in the Bronx. Please stop it. Anyway, if ever you see a picture of Curtis, remember, you will always see a picture of Nancy. Wonderful woman looking at him lovingly, with admiration, almost like, I can't believe him. Every picture I've never seen. Normally, and wives are very, very important, but she's a mainstay. She's been a great teamwork. And I have, again, like her, and he's terrific. And if I had my choice, she would be the first lady of whatever it was. But ain't going to happen because of the numbers. Not because he's not worth it. Not because he's not good. Not because he's not honest. It's because he's not a Democrat. You got what I'm saying? Because Cuomo is a Democrat. And he can at least say, well, okay. So it makes sense mathematically. But no, there are these people who come along and go, no, I'm voting for Curtis. Because Curtis, well, why don't you leave? Fine. If you don't want to vote for Curtis, then vote for Cuomo. I say, no, you got to get off the ballot. And plus, he's going to be on the ballot. Even right now, he's on the ballot now under Republican. See, the first line, the way you look at it, it's Republican, then Democrat. Remember, Mamdani won in that weird ranked voting thing, but he won the primary. And then Cuomo is under independent. Oh, it's weird. Oh, New York voting is weird. Anyway. So he's got to get out. Now listen to this. There's a guy named Bill Ackman. Ooh. Don't say Bill Ackman. Why? Oh my God, because he's a Zionist. Oh my God. Oh yeah, and he was the one who got rid of that gay woman, not her last name, whatever her name was, from the president of Harvard, and he's a Zionist. And okay, all right. He's also worth, I don't know, $1 bazillion, but he's right about Zohran Mamdani, and he said he's going to kill the tax base. Because when you're in a city, if you want to get rid of, he's got this thing about making the 1% pay, which, by the way, he can't do on his own. He has to get Hochul from the governor to sign off on. In any event, he said, let me tell you about it. He goes, rent-free will be terrific. And he goes through it very, very specifically about why there's a problem. That builders would love to build, but there's so many regulations, so many problems. Green New this, all that other bullshit. The reason why there are problems with, if you look at it, the reason there are problems with, electricity costs, everything, is because of this. We shut down Indian Point and all this other kind of stuff. So he explains this, and he says you can get what you want, but the reason why the rents are so high is because they're prohibitive because of a structure that needs to be revamped, which this guy is going to destroy. But the crystal balls of the world say, oh no, but don't listen to him. He's a Zionist. And get this. He's the one that Candace, follow me on this one. He's the one that Candace was saying had this supposed meeting, whether it's true or not, we don't know, in the Hamptons, where Charlie Kirk was read the riot act and told, you're going to do this or you're going to lose millions of dollars unless you sign on and drop this anti-Israel nonsense. That's that story. Now I'm saying that's wonderful. What the hell does this have to do with me in New York City? I don't care about that. Worry about that later. I'm worried about who's going to run my city. But they're bringing this up because they have one issue. That's it. And remember, box number one, I didn't tell you there's no such thing to that. I'm not telling you they're wrong, but that's all they care about. That's it. That's it. Do you ever know climate change, people? Climate change. That's it. So Ackman, he was on, I forget, some CNBC show. He's absolutely right. And he's correct. And he's teaming with other people to push for Cuomo. But they're saying, oh no, here we go. And then they bring it in. Zionist and Israel. Oh, did they pay you the $7,000? Say, what are you talking about? I'm talking about my city. And he's not the only one. Dov Hikind today. Dov Hikind, one of the most respected leaders in the community. He switched other people as well. And Curtis, by the way, is 100%. I think he is not in any way anti-Israel, nor is anybody else for that matter. But it just so happened that this anti-Zionist, and whether you call Mamdani anti-Semite, it's up to you. You use it. Aside from that, he's going to destroy. If an anti-Semite destroys my city, or a pro-Israel or a Semite, I guess, destroys my city, it doesn't matter. If a Catholic destroys my city, if a former Marine destroys my city, it doesn't matter to me. But this is where we are today. This is where we are in this politics that's just juvenile. And there are people who love, and they are identitarian because they identify with one particular thought, one particular idea. And the race for New York has nothing to do with Palestine, Gaza, Lebanon, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Abrams Accord, the Darfur Declaration. None of it. Nakba. Nothing. It has nothing to do with them. But because these morons think in this one box number one only, that's it. It's as far as we go. I don't see anything like it. It's this weird. We have the most simplified form of politics. So what I am telling to you, dear friend, is simply this. Pray for my city. If New York City falls, you will feel the repercussion. And it's going to be done not by anything we've ever seen before. But the crime will, and what they do is globalists and folks around the world want there to be destabilization. You got it? This is not Islamophobic. This is not nothing to do with it. This person is, let me tell you something. If Zohran Mamdani came along, kept everything the same, everything about Israel, about Bibi, arresting him, name it, but said, I'm going to double down. I'm going to double the number of police officers. I want to build more jails. People would say, well, and I want to lower taxes. They would say, you know what? Keep your anti-Semitism. I hate to say it. People would say, well, that's his opinion. Believe me. People would say, wow, some would say, but that's not why he is being repelled or rebuffed. That's not why he is the problem of the source of such problem. That's not it. I'm telling you. You got what I'm saying? Now, one more thing I want to tell you. Don't forget this guy because I love him to death. I think he's the best. Mike Lindell is still alive and well, and he has this thing called mypillow.com, promo code Lionel, and I want you to go and support him. Because for the longest time, he said, I want to say what I want. And they said, no, you can't, Mike. You can't do that. And he said, why? And I said, well, you just can't because we won't let you. Really? That's right. Okay. Well, I think he can say whatever the hell he wants. That simple, my friend. That simple. So go to mypillow.com, promo code Lionel, mypillow.com/Lionel, and you get a free gift. I know what you're saying. That's tautological. Aren't all gifts free? Yes. So sue me. I said it wrong, but that's what we call it in this country. All right, my friends. Now, I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for paying attention. I want you to follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. You understand what I'm saying? Her YouTube, she's got one that's going to drop about Prince Andrew that'll knock your you-know-what in the dirt. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? You got what I'm saying? Also follow her at Lynn's_Warriors on YouTube. Also, like this video. Like this video. Like this video. I'm going to put up some questions for you to answer. And I want you to answer them carefully. Remember what the issue is. If you're going to vote for mayor, you can say, I'm going to vote because I like people who say, I'm going to vote for Jill Stein. Okay. She's not going to win, but it's a symbolic motion. Okay, that's all right. But if you think somebody has a chance to win, if you want to stop Mamdani, how in the hell are you suggesting that a vote for Curtis is going to do anything but hand it to Mamdani? I wish it wasn't that way, but it is. You understand what I'm saying? I wish it wasn't that way, but it is. Okay? So pray for us. Pray for us. And it's bigger than us. It's about you and it's about this country too. You understand this? All right. Okay, dear friends, have a great and a glorious evening. Thank you so much. Remember tonight, 1 to 5 overnights on WABC. I will be there and it will be absolutely a barn burner. Call up. Call 77W. If you go and you can see the particular, I'll give the numbers up. 800-848-9222. Tell them you're part of Lionel Nation. And we'll say, Anyway, you'll get on first or something. All right, my friends. Have a great night. Don't ever change. Until then, remember, the monkey's dead. Show's over. Sue ya. Dad.